porn has been a big topic as of late, which showing up in the client work at least, the challenge I think I keep coming across, not even myself, but like within clients is usually if one person has a partner that's watching porn and they feel like it's problematic or um they might term it like porn addiction, which we know from the research is not substantiative. Like there's not enough there to say that
Good
it's
word.
addictive. It's problematic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Like it can become problematic for folks, no questions asked, right? Like for
yeah,
some people, it can become something that they depend on for stress relief, or it's used to avoid intimacy with a partner, things like that. Like all totally valid, right? But we know that we're not going to use the term porn addiction here. We'll call it problematic or
yeah.
something like that. But anyway, just like partners who feel very intimidated by porn. Like I have so many
hmm
clients who are like, well, why would my partner want to engage with me if there's this other content out here that they're looking at? Or, I can't do what that person's doing on the screen. And so, like, I think that that's where we're almost lacking literature or like content for clients is like, here's how you work through feeling insecure about your partner's fantasies.
Mm,
I just took a whole walk around the park to say that. That's
no.
what I think. That's what's on the noggin. It's like, how do we deal with insecurity around our partner's fantasies and the content that they're
Yeah.
using to explore those fantasies?
Yeah, I think this all stems to how we learn to be in relationships, right?
Mhm.
We still learn that relationships are about competition and winning and getting what's mine and no one else's.
Mhm.
And when you combine that with, lack of evidence-based sex education, then you get people who feel threatened by fantasies and who feel threatened
Mhm.
by
Mhm.
porn, right?
Mhm.
Taking a slight, well, going back to what you said, I wonder, Julie, if you ever feel like um, when you say, because I know the answer for me, when I tell people like we don't support porn addiction, right?
Mhm.
But porn is problematic, they do not hear the second part. They
Yeah.
sort of think that we are uh, defenders of porn and
Mhm.
defenders like we are against them in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way. I feel that sometimes, and I think
Yeah.
what's interesting is like we know that again what Dr. Eric Sprinkle, great researcher out there,
Mhm.
says, porn is not bad. The way our society treats porn is bad.
Mhm.
And what's so interesting about that is like, yeah, porn is can be so problematic for people, can be
Mhm.
so problematic, right? And it can
Mhm.
cause so much harm.
Mhm.
And because we don't support the addiction model, at times I think people can feel like then we are just giving leeway to people to watch porn all the time and like, oh, so you're saying my partner can watch porn instead of having sex with me? And it's like,
Yeah.
didn't say that, but
Uh,
it's like we have to battle
yeah.
so much. I don't know if you
Yeah.
feel that way.
100%. Yeah, I think people get kind of like leery or like confused when we say it's not addictive, but I try to help people make sense of that doesn't mean that it's not problematic or that it's not good. Not good, but that it's like not causing problems in your world.
Yeah,
But people they get confused because it's like, okay, well, if it's not addictive, then you must think that it's okay. And it's our job to try to help folks understand, like, no, 100% it can be problematic. Again, especially if you're watching it at work, right? Like that can
yeah,
get you in big trouble if you're spending a
yeah,
ton of money on it. If
yeah,
you, again, are like avoiding intimacy with your partner in favor of porn, right? Like I will just we see that that's like a very common thread. It's like that
hmm
avoidance of intimacy because this is easier. It's quick. I know exactly what needs to happen,
yeah,
and that avoidance. Um, gosh, there's one other example I was trying to think of, but yeah, it can still totally be
yeah,
problematic for folks. And I tell people like, if your goal is to not ever watch porn again, okay, like we can figure that out.
yeah.
Um, I will
Totally.
never, I always tell people, I will never tell you that you can never masturbate again, but
Sure.
I am happy to
Right.
support. Like, if you don't want to watch porn again, we can forget that. Like, we'll do what we can.
Yeah.
But reminding folks, like, we're in a sexualized world, right? We're in a very
World.
sexual world. And so even if you try to avoid porn, that doesn't mean you're not going to see sexual content. And so that's why we as sex therapists are like, we're not going to shame porn because porn isn't really the problem, right? It's really more about like, what are you avoiding by choosing porn? Are you avoiding boredom, loneliness, some sort of
Yeah.
feeling? So we can help you
Right.
tolerate that. But
Yeah, it's that dance that we have to do of like, which is what I tell all my supervisees, where we have to put on our sex educator hat and like
mm,
educate all of these things. And like, sure, if you're bored and you masturbate to porn, that's okay. If you're stressed and masturbate to porn, that's okay. If
yeah,
you just want to have sex with yourself and not with your partner today, that is okay,
yeah,
right? So it's like you have to wear that hat and you have to be like,
yeah,
okay, so now let me set this foundation for you so that it's there. And now let's talk about you specifically, right?
mhm.
Like you
Yes,
specifically, if
exactly.
you are,
Mhm.
right, like, oh, well, now I'm choosing to watch porn most times and avoiding intimacy with my partner. There you
Mhm.
go. Now that's
Mhm.
where it moves into the problematic realm and the realm that we have to then sit with these people and help them understand, well, why are you choosing that
Right.
over that intimate connection with
Yeah.
this person that you're choosing to be with?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that can help people across the board. Like if it's a partnered situation, it's like we want to lay the foundation for what what the what the general expectation should be, which is that like your body is your own, and if you want to go, if your body's your playground and you want to go play, great. And in the context of this relationship and this individual, maybe that is challenging for you. Like maybe it's almost over functioning is sometimes what I tell my clients, right? Like maybe you're doing more than what's actually going to be helpful for your relationship or for you as an
Yeah,
individual. So yeah, I think you're totally right. Like we need to set the foundation. I hate the word normal, right? Because I'm like,
I
for
know.
what's normal, but like the foundation for what people could experience, and also then name what's not working for you and how do we help you get back to this place or maybe to
Yeah,
a different place. Like maybe for you porn is not going to be helpful for most of your
yeah,
life. Wow. It
yeah.
depends.
Love, I don't know if you made this up on the spot. Look at you. The whole like your body is your playground and you can
Yeah.
go play. Can you say that again?
Yeah, just like the idea that like if you want to go play with your body, like that's your
Yeah,
playground to go enjoy,
love
and
that.
nobody can tell you not to do that. Or like somebody
Yeah,
shouldn't tell you to do that. This
yeah,
shows up all the time in relationships where partners feel like they should be controlling their partner's orgasm or their like self play. And it's like we are autonomous individuals who should be able to enjoy our bodies and explore them with curiosity.
yeah.
Uh,
And I think like what we should honor too is the other thing that sometimes I notice is um in some ways that we are just telling, well, you got to go, like telling the partner, well, you got to go work on yourself, you got to go fix this, you got to do that, that and the other. And as licensed clinicians, that's that balance that we have to strike as well of like, sometimes the reality is that you have to go and work on yourself. You have to go and understand why this feels so threatening to you. Your
right.
partner can't solve all of this for you, right? Because your
Yeah.
partner distancing themselves from their sexuality, right, only creates potentially more harm down the road.
Yeah, gosh, that's such a good point. Like the partner distancing themselves from their sexuality. Yeah, 'cause it's like, well, I'm trying to make you happy, so I will
Yeah,
distance myself from my sexuality, and then that it creates its own host of problems, which is just not good.
yeah,
Um, and reiterating over and over again that we're not saying that if your partner is watching porn that you are the problem and you need to go figure
yeah,
yourself out. But it is a couple
exactly.
dynamic work often. It's often a dynamic effort of the person who's finding that porn is problematic in their life needs to figure out, how do they even get here, and how do we put it back into a healthy place in your life, which again might mean not having it at all. That's
Yeah.
for you, a new therapist, to figure out. But then the partner does need to figure out too, can, like, yes, they're working on that, and can you accept that there is the ability to have solo play with
Yeah.
oneself, and that
Yeah.
be okay, and it not be threatening, and it not take away from your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. So circling back to your original point, 10 minutes later, of like the idea of not feeling threatened by our partner's fantasy space. And I think a lot of that, what we tell clients all the time is, or it's really two things. One, uh, communicate, right?
Mhm.
Communicate concerns that you're having, communicate insecurities, communicate fears.
Mhm.
And through that communication, or what will help with that, is vulnerability, right? Sitting and being vulnerable and showing up and being like, I'm feeling really uncomfortable with you engaging so much with your fantasy space, and it's making me feel distant from you or resentful, and I want to tackle this, right? It's getting curious, and it's not just jumping to, well, you're bad or I'm wrong in some way, I'm gross. And I think
Right.
that's this piece that, how do we do it? Well, we just got to start, you two talking, or you three, if we're in a
Yeah.
polycule or whatnot.
Great. Which is such good language that you were using. People get really caught up in like the you do this and it, I don't like that you do this, which, is blaming, it's shaming, it's criticizing. But instead, when you talk about like, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm feeling insecure,
Yeah,
that helps soften defenses so that you can be collaborative and work through the problem together.
yeah, totally.